where? Hi, welcome to my channel. I don't know how we got here, but it happened, so stick
Let's
around.
enjoy it.
Right.
So what's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Cannot complain. I mean, like I could, but like it wouldn't be justified because I really don't have anything to complain about right now.
I want to ask you just some random questions, and I am absolutely going to start with, what is your all-time favorite console?
Like ever?
Ever.
I would have to say, I'd have to say the PlayStation 2. But the Atari, the N64, the Super Nintendo, I shared all those with my dad. And then same thing with the first PlayStation. The PlayStation 2 was the first one that was mine. Like he bought me my own, and then he had his own. So that started like my journey for me.
I love it. What were some of your first games on PS2?
Sly Cooper was my first game. I loved that game. Like I loved games like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and then Sly Cooper was there, but Sly Cooper was like the underrated one out of all of those. And then plus, like my last name's Cooper, so it was really dope at like that young of an age having a character that has the same last name as you, because you were like, oh my god,
you had your own game. It was made for you. So do you still play that today?
I do. I still have like the original copy for the PS2. I still have the second one. The third one came out for the PS3, and then they remastered the first, second, and third one for the PS3. And then a fourth one came out, but Sucker Punch had nothing to do with it. So like the animation's kind of weird, but I still played it because it's like Cooper.
So of the current consoles, current games, like what's your favorite combo? What do you find yourself streaming a lot lately?
I find myself streaming, if I'm by myself, I'll stream like role-playing games, like RPGs and stuff. And then if my friends are playing with me, we'll play like online, like co-op games. So like we'll play, right now we're playing the Division 2 again. We'll bounce back and forth between Division 2, Wildlands, Breakpoint, Destiny 2. Yeah, when it's just me by myself, it's I just picked up Dragon Age again. I'll play Persona 5. What else do I have over here? Tales of Berseria is another one, and then Trials of Mana just came out in April, and that was more of a little chibi-sized RPG game.
That's dope, though. I think some of the smaller games, they're overlooked, but they're a lot of fun.
They are, and they don't get a lot of attention, which isn't too bad, because when you start playing one underrated game, the PlayStation Store recommends other low-rated games, and you're just like, yes,
I'll check this out.
all to me. And then it's really dope because now you're one of the few ones who are streaming it. So if someone does know about the fandom or the series or whatever, and they look up that category, you're like the only person streaming it. So
I love the fact that gaming was like a family affair, and that makes so much sense. But what got you going from just gaming at home with family or friends over to the streaming side?
It was actually two of my friends that I had while I was enlisted in the military. We all played video games together, and they were both like both of them were guys, and they were like, have you ever thought about like Twitch? And I didn't know what Twitch was. This was like, what, like 5 years ago, like 5-6 years ago. And so it's relatively recent. And I was like, what's Twitch? And they're like, it's like YouTube, but like for gamers. I was like, oh, that's dope. And so they showed me, like a couple streams that were active at the time, and they were like, you could do it because you're good at the game, and then you're a girl, so like you're gonna get attention because you're a girl, but then people are gonna want to stay because you're good at the game.
Tell me about naming your streams again.
I'll be naming them like the most random off the wall things, like, or I'll name like my highlights, like my clips, certain things. Like we were playing Wildlands, and my friend was flying the helicopter, and he was like, Sly, get in the helicopter. And I was like, you can't tell me what to do, you're not my supervisor. And so I'll name that, like I'll name the clip like those two sentences. And like that's gotten a lot of views just because it's attention grabbing.
So I heard you mention Twitch, definitely one of the biggest gaming platforms. Obviously some news about Mixer coming out recently. What are your favorite platforms? What are your least favorite platforms?
I really like Twitch because you have more control over the chat, so to speak. Like when it comes to, you know, like certain like racial slurs and, you know, like homophobic language and stuff like that, you can actually filter it to be like, hey, you can't say the N word. And if someone tries to type it, it won't go through and
Nice.
it'll flag the comment. So it's like you have more control over the chat compared to like, you know, like Facebook and YouTube. You don't really have as much control over the chat. And then plus people can comment and there's no like filter for the comment section. So I could have like all of these positive comments and then there's one negative comment and all I focus on is that one negative comment. And I'm just like, I know I'm not supposed to do that. I know that's unhealthy and that's not good.
It's
knowing
hard not
me
to focus on though.
Exactly, because you're like, you're always looking for criticism, so because it's like it's gonna help you do better. But then when all you see is like negative criticism, you're just like, sorry, I'm boring and I'm not showing my tits in my stream. We don't do that here. Like,
go find another one. You're good.
Right. Like,
what is some advice that you would give to brand new streamers who are just getting their foot in the door?
Like right off the bat, just play the game when you're streaming. Like, don't pay attention to the viewer count, but pay attention to your viewers. So like if people are talking in the chat, you want to like engage with your chat, because there have been times where like even before I started streaming, I was still on Twitch just watching people play. And if people are talking in the chat and you're responding to the chat, you make more people want to talk in the chat and like get to know you and stuff like that. And then compared to, you know, people who just ignore the chat, because then it's just like, oh, okay, I'm just I guess.
Why am I here?
Right. Network as much as possible, because like if you're doing it for fun and you don't really care about building a following and you're just like, I just want to stream because reasons, and that's cool. But if you want to like build your brand and like build your community or whatever, definitely network with streamers who stream like the same games as you, on the same platform as you. Even if you have friends that stream, be like, hey, can we like stream together or like play a game together and then stream at the same time, or, you know, like whatever the case may be. And then don't worry about the numbers at the end. Don't worry about like, oh, you have this many viewers and this many people commenting and blah, blah, blah. Because if you focus too much on the numbers, you're going to get discouraged from not just streaming, but also just playing the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of us do it just to play the game. You know, like don't let the attention or lack thereof affect your love for a hobby, you know?
Was there a specific challenge that you just were not expecting and had to just get over?
I want to say like, so about a year ago, I got one of my friends into streaming, and it was like, once she got all of those followers, she just like forgot about all of her friends. And it was just like, oh, okay. And then we would be streaming together and it would be like, we'd be telling her like in game, like, hey, you know, like someone's behind you, or there's a sniper up there or whatever. And she would be talking to her chat so loud that she wouldn't hear us. And we're just like, we're all gonna die. Like,
where are all the places to follow you?
my Instagram is SlyCooper711. My Twitter, that I'm like almost never on and I really need to get back on that, is also SlyCooper711, as is my PlayStation handle, my Twitch, my TikTok. Outside of my best friends that I made during my time in the military, like my gaming friends are like right underneath, because
Nice.
like my best friend Zach that I always play Destiny with, he's like my twin right now. We actually met on the first Destiny, like on Destiny 1, and we were doing a mission, and you get like randomly like matched up with each other during certain missions and stuff. And I look over and his character, you can choose to play as a girl or a boy. And like I chose a girl, and then he chose a girl. And like his gamer tag was Icy Toxics. Wasn't like, oh, this is obviously a dude, or
Right.
oh, this is obviously a girl. Like a lot of people thought I was a boy because Sly Cooper, the character, is a boy. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's another girl, you know? And then we would always play with each other, but like their headset was broken and they were waiting to get a new headset. So I never knew what they sounded like. He finally gets a headset and he was like, hey, what's up, Cooper? And I was like, oh my God, you're a guy? Like, I mean, that's cool, but this whole time I thought you were a chick. Like,